everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for watching. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial on the look that you see right here. I really just became super inspired by cranberries and pinks for today's makeup tutorial. So that is what I used on my eyes today. And the lipstick, I'm not super impressed with this lipstick. This is the NYX Lip Lustre in the shade Antique Romance. It's just starting to kind of feather at the edges and it's getting all over my teeth, which I'm not really a fan of. But I feel like if I were to apply this over a, I don't know, liquid lipstick or over a lip liner or something like that, that it would sit a lot better. But I don't know. So far, I'm not a huge fan of the Lip Lustre from NYX, but you know, it's my first time trying it, so you gotta try it to know that you don't like it. But yeah, I've been super inspired by colors lately. I'm trying to get out of the funk and the sadness that I've been in recently, and so I've just been trying to kind of find inspiration in the spring and the summer months that we are having here in Florida. And I love this look. I feel like it's super feminine, super girly. I talk a little bit about my situation with my eyelashes in the actual tutorial, but I just haven't been feeling falsies. I don't know what's going on with me, but I just haven't been feeling like I want them. This is a super dramatic eye look, but I just haven't been wanting to wear false eyelashes, and I feel like that's okay. I feel like the typical woman does not wear false eyelashes, and if you are a typical woman and you do, more power to you, honey. I don't know, they irritate my eyes a lot. I feel like they're super heavy. Every single time I put them on, a majority of the time, I just want to rip them right off. So I've just been rocking my natural lashes, even if I do a super dramatic look. But yeah, so that's kind of why I haven't been really into the false lashes lately. But this intro is coming up to 3 minutes long, so I'm going to cut myself off. I really hope that you guys enjoy this makeup tutorial, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so I am looking a little bit weird right now because my concealer is way too light for the tan that I got. But that's okay because that's why God invented bronzer, right? So the very first palette that I am going in with is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I'm going to be using pretty much all of the eyeshadows that are going on my eyes are coming from this palette. So we're going to start with this one right here. It's called Buena Fresco. It's a really pretty kind of cool tone purple gray shade, and I am going to put that directly into my crease using my Sigma E40 brush. I love Anastasia Beverly Hills palette eyeshadows. I don't have any of their single eyeshadows, but I love their palettes. I will say though that they do have a lot of kickback, so that can kind of be a little bit frustrating. Anytime you are using an eyeshadow that you know has a lot of kickback or has a lot of fallout, you definitely want to do your eyes first. So I am going to put this directly into my crease and just keep blending it back and forth, but I'm going to kind of keep it more on the outer corner instead of going all the way into the inner corner. Now I'm going in with this really gorgeous cranberry shade. It's called Love Letter. It's super pretty, and it's the perfect shade of kind of like a cranberry pink. And I am going in with a Morphe M441 brush to be blending this directly into my crease. I'm going to put this directly into my crease. I'm going to keep it below the Buena, wow, I can't speak, the Buon Fresco. So I'm just going to really just kind of dab a little bit of my brush into that, and then I am going to literally put it directly into my crease area, just trying to avoid going too high up into the crease. I'm also going to put this color into the outer corner, and I am going to start blending that upwards into the crease because I do want the outer corner of the look today to have more depth than the inner corner. So Since that original shade kind of got blended away, I'm going to go back in with my Sigma E40 brush and apply more of that Buon Fresco shade just above the crease area so there's no harsh lines, and so we can also get more of that kind of purple plum shade back in there. I have really been loving the blending of different colors and kind of creating like a concoction on my eyes. You know, just kind of using different shades that you wouldn't necessarily put together. You know, it just creates such like a different color. Like these two shades together create such a beautiful purple, and I've been loving that technique lately. So now I'm going in with this really pretty kind of red shade. It's a little bit darker and kind of more neutral than Love Letter. This is called Venetian Venetian Red, and I'm going to be taking my Sigma E35 brush and applying that directly into the outer corner and the crease. This is really going to add a lot more depth to the look and just create more dimension. The more shadows that you use, the more depth and dimension you're going to be able to achieve with your eyeshadows. So if you decide that you really want a nice blown out smoky eye, I really recommend using at least 3 to 4 eyeshadows and just kind of building them on top of each other, and that's how you're really going to achieve that kind of blown out smoky eye look. Now I'm going to go back in with Love Letter and just kind of deepen up the crease even more, and just going back and forth between the different eyeshadows just to make sure that the crease is to the depth of my liking. Then I'm going back in with Buon Fresco just to blend out everything one last time. Now I'm going to dive into my BH Cosmetics Baked and Beautiful palette. So it has a ton of really incredible different shades in here. They're all baked eyeshadows, but today we're going in with this really pretty kind of cranberry shade, and I'm going to be applying that all over my entire lid with a Sonia Kashuk brush. This is just kind of like a flat top brush. It's not anything fancy, and I'm going to be spraying a little bit of my Urban Decay my Chill Makeup Setting Spray onto the brush just so that it gives the color a little bit more of a wet and metallic look. And I'm going to be concentrating this just on the inner part of the eye and towards the middle part as well. I'm going to leave the outer corner more matte. Now I'm going back into the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm taking this shade right here. It is called Tempera. It is a really pretty kind of neutral vanilla shade, and I'm going to be using this with a tiny itty bitty little Ulta brush to highlight my brow bone. I kind of went through this phase to where I wasn't really highlighting my brow bone, and then recently I don't know, kind of started to pick it up again. I think it's really necessary with super dramatic looks like this because it really helps to kind of clean up under the brow area, and it just accentuates the brow bone, and it makes it to where your shadows don't touch your brow. I don't know, I just think that it's definitely a necessity whenever you're doing more of like a very dramatic smoky eye. For my primer, I'm going in with the NYX Angel Veil Primer. I'm obsessed with this primer. I do compare it a lot to the Josie Maran Etheric Primer. I really love this stuff. It does kind of break me out if I use it too much, but I don't know, recently I've just been loving the formula again, especially because I haven't really been taking really good care of my skin. I've just been kind of in a rut because of everything that happened with my dog. So yeah, I've just been, you know, not really taking care of my skin super well. I haven't been using a mask or anything, and sometimes I haven't been washing my face at nighttime. So I need something that is really going to fill in those enlarged pores and also kind of smooth out the texture that I have going on with my skin. For my foundation, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I'm finally dark enough to use this shade again. And for my makeup brush, I'm using the Real Techniques buffing brush. I've kind of heard that using a smaller stippling brush is kind of like the trend right now for applying your foundation. I think I've tried this like one time with this particular Real Techniques brush, and I really, really liked it. So I'm hoping that I will really enjoy it again. But I love this foundation. It is, you know, it's one of those foundations that's really, really good. I wouldn't say that it's my #1 favorite, definitely not, but it's just a really, really good foundation. It's, you know, one of the better high-end ones, and I really like the finish of it. It definitely gives more of that natural finish, which is really nice. Okay, so here's a little situation that we have going on here. I don't know what the hell happened with this foundation. I don't know if it's because I'm like light right now or this brush is really not doing a great job, but I feel like it's just not my color right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. I feel like it looks really weird. I'm definitely obviously going to be applying a bronzer, but I will say this brush, I love using it for like a cream bronzer or a cream blush or something like that, but to apply foundation, I do not like it at all. So lesson learned for that one. And I don't know, this foundation I just feel like is not doing what I want it to do. So hopefully we'll be able to fix it up a little bit with the bronzer and stuff like that, because I don't know what the hell is going on with this color. But look, it's just like completely, I don't know, I just feel like it's a lot more yellow and I have a lot more of like a honey undertone. I don't know, guys. We'll see. I'll try to warm it up. It could just be that the cranberry in my eyes is just kind of pulling a lot of red from my skin. And that's why, because like in person it looks a lot better, but in the camera I'm like looking at myself and I'm kind of scaring myself a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes with the bronzer and everything. For my concealer though, I am going to be taking the Flower Beauty concealer. I have actually really been enjoying this concealer a lot. And I'm just going to be applying it in the areas where I am a little bit red and underneath my eyes. I will say, I feel like I'm going through this concealer super quick. I don't know. I feel like there's just not a lot of concealer in the tube, and so I'm going through it super fast. I don't know. I do love the consistency of the concealer though, because it reminds me a lot of the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. It has kind of the same amount of coverage and the consistency is really, really similar. It's like not super, super sticky or tacky or anything like that. But it doesn't give like as full of a coverage as the Tarte Shape Tape, but it reflects differently. So I feel like it kind of gives the illusion that it's more full coverage whenever you're far away, which I think is really nice. Like it reflects the light really well. It blends into the skin. It doesn't crease whenever you apply a powder over top. I haven't tried this concealer without a powder before, so I don't know how it kind of tests to that, but as far as everything else goes, I really, really like it. Then to set my under eye area and pretty much the rest of my face, I'm taking the NYX HD Studio finishing powder. This is the translucent loose powder, and I've been wanting to kind of branch out and just try other products. I feel like I have way too many eyeshadows, way too many lipsticks and stuff like that, so I have decided to give this a shot. I did use it to you know, cover up the concealer on my actual eyelids, and I really like the way that it worked there. I'm hoping that I will like the effect of how it covers up my pores as well. And I am going to be using my Real Techniques sponge to apply this. Now I'm going to wipe away all of that powder. This is an HD powder, so it really shouldn't be showing up on the camera like this. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what's going on, guys. In person, it does not look like that at all. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. But I will say that the powder sits really, really nicely. Next time, I might not bake with it like that. Well, I didn't really bake, but I kind of applied it with the damp beauty sponge. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, you guys, now that it looks like I have powder all over my face, even though I don't, I'm going to be filling in my brows with the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I really, really like this pencil. I know some people love it and some people hate it. I'm definitely one of those people who does like really enjoy this brow pencil. It's super easy to use. It's small. I will say that if you are kind of new to the brow game, I would definitely go with a brow pencil that has more of that triangle shape that's super popular right now, just because it makes it a lot easier. Whenever you use any sort of like brow pencil that's literally looks like a pencil, it's, I don't know, it just feels a little bit more difficult. For me, that's just, you know, my personal opinion. But yeah, so I really love this brow pencil, and I just kind of lightly shape everything and fill everything in. To complete the under eyes, I'm going to be going in with a definer brush, and I'm going to be applying that directly into my lower lash line. I'm going to be taking Love Letter, which is that really pretty red shade that we first went in with before we went in with Venetian Red. So I'm just going to be applying this super close to the lash line. I don't want to bring this too far down because sometimes red underneath the eyes can make you look like you have bloodshot eyes. So I'm really just going to concentrate on pushing this directly into the lash line. Then on a pencil brush, I'm going to be taking one Fresco, and I'm going to buff that into the Love Letter shade just so that it can kind of blend nicely together, and we're just going to be kind of creating that gradient effect just like we did on the upper part of the eye. Then to line my inner waterline, I'm going to be taking the Colourpop Creme Gel Liner. This one is in the shade Honeydew. It's a really beautiful kind of like skin tone shade. I have honestly been loving these Colourpop eyeliners. I think that they're amazing. They sit really well in the waterline. I just honestly love the way that they apply, and they stay there forever. For my mascara, for my mascaras, I'm going to be using two different ones. First, I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Megaprotein mascara. It's the one that's in the green tube. And then right after that, I'm going to follow it with the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I recently have just been loving my natural lashes, even with very dramatic looks. I just feel like that is more me. And even though I do love to be glamorous sometimes by throwing on a pair of false lashes, I don't know, I just feel like I am more the type of girl to just kind of put on really dramatic mascara and be good to go. I just feel like that kind of suits me better, and I don't know, false lashes sometimes just really irritate my eyes, and I prefer just to wear mascara. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. And then for my lower lashes, I'm just going to be going in with the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. To finish up the eyes, I'm going to go in with this really pretty highlight shade. It's called Vermeer. It's right here. It's a really pretty vanilla shade. It definitely does have a little bit of a sheen to it, and I'm going to be taking that same exact brush from Ulta. It's the small eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to be taking that to apply it to the inner corner of my eyes just to add a little bit of a pop. Now I'm going to finish up the rest of my face. To bronze my skin, I am taking the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. It is so smooth and buttery. It literally lives up to its name. I know a lot of beauty vloggers love this stuff, and I decided to purchase it from Ulta, and I have not been disappointed. It blends like a dream. It's so beautiful on the skin, and it is literally the perfect shade of bronzer for my skin tone. I am obsessed with it, and yeah, I mean, that's like pretty much all I can say about it is how amazing it is. And I love the smell of coconut and sunscreen, and that's literally what it smells like. It's probably pretty strong of a smell for some of you, but I love the smell of coconut and anything that reminds me of the beach, so I'm obsessed with it. And I'm just going to be blending this onto the skin with a big fluffy brush by Cala. For my blush, I am taking one of my favorite blushes of the moment. This is the Too Faced Your Love is King. It is such a gorgeous like deep mauve purple shade, and I think that it goes amazing with the eye look that I decided to create today. I'm honestly obsessed with Too Faced blushes right now. I only own 2 of them, but I have been using them non-stop. I am obsessed. Their formula is incredible and they stay so long on my cheeks. The brush that I'm using is the Morphe E4 brush. If you guys love blush, this is going to be your favorite brush of all time. For my highlight, I am taking the Wet n Wild Megaglo highlighting powder in the shade Precious Petals. I love the highlights, you guys, from Wet n Wild right now. I just feel like their formulas are incredible for the drugstore. The price is right. You honestly can't go wrong. They are incredible. They're so like sheeny, shiny, glittery, but not in a bad way. Like there's no chunks of glitter or anything like that. It's so finely milled. It's super buttery. I am obsessed with it. To apply my highlight today, I'm taking the M504 brush. This is what I love to use whenever I want more of a precise highlight. And I'm also going to be spritzing a little bit of that Urban Decay setting spray just to add more of a pop of a highlight. To complete my look, I am taking the NYX Lip Lustre. This one is in the shade Antique Romance. It's a really pretty mauve shade. I think it complements the eyes really well. I actually haven't used this in a tutorial yet. Actually, I don't think I've used this at all yet. I've only swatched it on the back of my hand. I do know that based on what I saw whenever I swatched it on the back of my hand, I do really like the formula of this. I think it's beautiful. So I am super excited to see how it holds up on my lips because I don't know, I feel like NYX really does super well with all of their lip products and I haven't been disappointed yet, and I really hope that I'm not disappointed. All right, you guys, that completes this makeup look. I am not really sure what happened on my face today. I feel like I would definitely really like the NYX HD powder if I would have just applied it with a brush. I don't know why I had the worst luck with applying powders and trying to bake. Whenever I use a damp beauty sponge, it just always turns into a shit show. So I don't know what my luck is with that. I'm just gonna stop trying that method. But yeah, so I am not sure how I feel about the NYX HD Studio Finishing Powder, but I hope that it works a lot better with me just applying a brush. And I definitely do not like the Real Techniques buffing brush for applying foundation. I just feel like it did a really splotchy job. It definitely just was not a good scenario. And kind of looking at the lip Lustre from NYX, it's starting to feather like towards the outer part of my lower lip especially. So I feel like this is definitely going to be one of those lip products that bleeds. So I'm kind of disappointed in that. I will definitely try it out with a lip liner just to kind of see if that helps to, I don't know, prevent the feathering. But as of right now, I can already see it. It started within like 30 seconds of me applying this. So I'm not too happy about that. I think the shade is beautiful. It did apply a little bit patchy, you know, but that's kind of what you get with any sort of lip gloss that has a lot more of like a darker shade. So yeah, but as far as the eyes go, I'm like super obsessed with them. And yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe my channel so you can stay up to date on all of the content that I put up. All right, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.